3, 2, 1, live. Now I'll just add myself as moderator.
It takes a couple of minutes to fire up.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
stress
online
it.
yet. There we go.
Pretend we're going down, descending. It's the quiet time. You don't know what's going on. Don't know if it's working or not. Cool. All right, folks, whoever can hear us or see us, firstly, I apologize if it's not working correctly. It's not my expertise. My expertise is going to sea for a living, diving, fishing, having a good time and looking after people. So if this works, it's a bonus. That's why I say things. My name's Liam Modion Brile, 191 Trinity, charter vessel, West Coast in Costa Rica, Puerto Vida ahora. I just left Panama, and then we go up to Alaska. So enjoy the journey. It'll be about 3 months. We're currently at sea now, off Golfito. In 2 hours, we're into Golfito. We just left a beautiful place called Caño Island. And if we just go around, introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your platforms and what you use.
You first, please.
Yes,
You're the
first.
gentleman.
You're
You
the
first.
gentleman.
No,
Okay.
I am a gentleman.
My name's Rosie Moore. I am the Citizen Science Manager at the International Seakeeper Society. I'm an ecologist. I have a background in a variety of apex predators research, including snakes, crocodilians, and sharks.
Cool.
So my name is Adriana Naranjo. I am Costa Rican. I work for Mission Tiburon as shark research in Golfo Dulce. And I also am carrying out a program for ocean education for schools in Golfo Dulce. And I also work as a dive instructor.
So you just turn the volume off. Perfect. All right, and yourself, Andres?
Hi, everyone. My name is Andres Lopez. I am marine biologist of Mission Tiburon 2. Like Adriana said, Mission Tiburon is a Costa Rican NGO. Our focus is shark marine conservation, and we are back happy to Caño Island with this beautiful group.
And once again, this is not our natural habitat. I think Rose is a bit more familiar with the cameras than what I am, and Andreas is.
No.
And Adriana. But spent 3-4 days doing shark research and also saw hammerheads. We saw white-tip reef sharks. What's the importance of Caño Island? I mean, the whole of Costa Rica is important.
47 years of a national
Protection.
park of Costa Rica.
Yeah.
This is very important. The best reef in the Pacific. As for Mission Tiburon, it's very important have more knowledge about this habitat for protect better.
To give value to the national park and resources.
Yes, of course. This is the key because in the case of Caño Island, represent an important income for Drake Bay, for different coastal communities that they go to Caño Island to make dive activities, snorkeling activities, and represent important income. This is the key, connect conservation with the communities.
And most of the species of shark, I had a question already from a friend, said what species of sharks? We saw white-tip reef sharks, and we saw a giant hammerhead, and we saw bull sharks. When you hear bull sharks, for me from Australia, I hear leg getting chopped off up the river. What's it mean for you, bull sharks? And you're natural around sharks. The three of you, you know, they're like animal, they're beautiful, not cuddly animals, but they're beautiful animals for you. What's the fear factor that people have with sharks, and how do you mitigate that?
Oh, I was going to answer the first question. That wasn't the important.
So what species of sharks?
No, well, I was going to say, but the important part of seeing a bull shark, for example, is that it shows us that the ecosystem is healthy. It's an apex predator that is present in this ecosystem, so it's a good sign. It's actually not a fear factor, but it's good. We don't really know exactly. We wanted to hopefully tag one of them to start understanding more about their behavior in Caño, but we're still figuring that out. If they may be feeding or they might be in a cleaning station. But that they're there, it's really good. It's good signs.
Excellent. And Rosie, you joined us from Seakeepers. If you want to tell about Seakeepers, because I've known Seakeepers for probably about 24 years now when we did research around the world with temperatures, but it means so much more now to so many people, you know, especially the non-profits in different areas. So
yeah, I think Seakeepers is kind of hard to understand at first. Before I joined, I was like, I kind of think I know what they do, but I'm not 100% certain. Basically, there's two main veins of Seakeepers. There's the citizen science aspect, and then there's the vessel aspect, which is like what we're doing right now, the citizen science or the scientist-led expeditions. So one big part of Seakeepers is partnering with large vessels like your own, and then also scientists that are in need of a vessel to conduct a research project, and then making that connection so that scientists are able to carry out their research without having the overhead costs of these vessels, because obviously it's very expensive to do a lot of this really important work. And then we also do the citizen science aspect. So people, again, like yourself, that are traveling the world on a vessel already, if we have a scientist that is like, I really need these phytoplankton samples in the Caribbean, but I can't afford to travel all throughout the Caribbean to get them myself. We find somebody that's already doing it. And we're like, here's how you do these samples. Can you do these for us?
Exactly.
So it's really cool. It's basically like, you know, a double purpose. Like you said earlier, like if we weren't doing this week, you would just be sitting at the marina. But instead we got to repurpose the time that you had down to do this expedition.
Well, there's also tax advantages for owners. There's also the other side of it too is, from a crew perspective, we're going to Kano Island in 2 weeks, hopefully with Adriana as well. And for us to go to a location without seeing it first increases the risk factor for success and safety. And they're the two factors that I'm in the business of, success and safety. So although we did all the research and it was wonderful, for me and the crew of Unbridled, we saw Kano Island. We met the rangers, we anchored safely, no damage. We saw the dive sites. We're with, you know, we understand the local movements now. So it gives the clients we have on Unbridled a better experience, if that makes sense.
Of course.
The other benefit is if we can somehow bring the research to the clients, because that's the bit I'm a bit more passionate about. A lot of our clients wake up, have their routines of wellness, which our team does a great job, and you enjoyed the yoga. I didn't see you in the yoga in the mornings. We were more in the diving and fishing.
Of course, no yoga.
Yeah, that's our yoga, underwater.
Only pura vida.
Only
What
put it
time
in
was the
coffee.
yoga?
Yeah, like that.
No, yoga pura vida.
So, you know, for the clients, it's interesting to understand that Seakeepers provides that platform for you to have a researcher on board that can help with explaining the areas we go to, explaining the biodiversity and so forth. So I see a couple of questions coming in. Do you have any, Sam?
I just have one from Prashaneth, and is asking how you handle the seasickness.
Good question. I mean, it's the ocean. I mean, to me, it's fresh air. Depends on the vessel. Everyone gets seasick. In my life, I've done a lot of years at sea since I was 13, 14. I've been seasick twice in my life on big, tall ships. It wasn't, and that's when I realised sailboats wasn't for me. I'll stick to yachts, you know. But it's not really handle it. It's how you. It's about focusing your energy and what you're trying to get out of this. And for me, it's the diving and the fishing and the expedition style cruising. So hammerhead sharks, we saw it yesterday. Why is it a special area for hammerheads? I know Bat Island has more bull sharks.
Oh, the hammerhead is emblematic species for Costa Rica and for Caño Island. In the case of the great hammerhead, we don't have any information.
Yeah.
We have a little information about dive reports only, and with you guys, we can explore different places, you know, with science, with dive expert, you know, and we get the great hammerhead, and we know that they is a resident in Caño Island, and the next time we
which gives it more validity to the local infrastructure. So you'll tell the diver resorts, yes, there is hammerheads here. The government will understand it. They'll protect it stronger. That's kind of the theory, correct?
Yes. And in the case of the hammerhead, the great is a critical and dangerous species. You know, is the key is, you know, is protect their areas, because there are not a lot of areas like Caño Island right now. You know, this is the importance of the national park.
But Costa Rica do it differently. Like Costa Rica is a special place.
Of course.
You know?
Yes, of course.
Mi país is Dominican Republic, so I'm biased, but Dominican doesn't have the strength of the ecosystems in terms of the protection of the ecosystems. You say 47 years Costa Rica, Cano Islands protected. That's world class. That's
yes.
Someone understands here the value of nature.
Yes. Our country is famous around the world, but the majority of the conservation is in the land. We need more engaged people in the ocean because it's very important that people know about the importance of the marine conservation, but the government don't have a lot of research. We have a lot people working in conservation, for example, and we need more people involved.
Exactly. And what we were doing was we were catching them, we were tagging them, and then we also deployed, we didn't do it this time, but I saw underwater the actual receivers. And then each time the great hammerhead or the manta ray will come past the receiver, it sends a signal to the receiver, correct?
Correct.
And what is it? What signals does it send? What information?
What information? Hey,
Depth,
give us
temperature,
depth and residence.
The amount of times.
We use the acoustic technology for know more about the residence of the species. How many times stayed, or how many times stayed in this area, or where go, or for why go.
Understood.
Yes. This is the information for the acoustic technology. The receiver get the information about the charts with tags.
Yeah, understood. And you had a question there?
Yes. What's the basic to know when diving with sharks?
Yeah, Rosie. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah. It really depends on the species. So you can give a general overview, but every species is going to be different. Like today, we took a diver down that's never dove before who was a little nervous about being in the water with sharks. And the problem is depending on what species depends on their behavior. So like the white tips that we are seeing today are very harmless, lay on the bottom. You can swim right next to them. They want nothing to do with you. And there's other species like tigers and bulls that are a little more inquisitive and known for kind of bumping divers or checking you out. And the behavior changes too, depending on if there's chum in the water or not. Around the world, you see a lot of eco-tourist companies actually chumming the water. And when you have chum in the water, their behavior will change slightly to be a little more inquisitive, or, they'll come a lot closer to you than they would in their natural habitat. So my biggest thing is I always say I'd rather be diving with sharks than surfing with sharks, because my head's in the water, I can see them, I know where they're at, and just like any other predator, when you make eye contact with them, they usually don't want anything to do with you. They want to ambush their prey. If they get injured by something they're trying to attack, there's no ER for them to go to. Not splashing around, not acting like prey, then sharks don't treat you like prey.
And yourself, Adriana, how do you feel comfortable around it? Like, did you develop that from a young age with sharks, or you had a passion for the ocean, or because you loved that yesterday? That was your highlight, the hammerhead.
Yeah, I guess so. I've always been super into sharks. And the more I had the opportunity to dive with them, the more in love I fell with them, and I realized that it's far from the Hollywood image that everybody has in their head. That actually is really hard to see them underwater, and when you get the chance, it's just like
a blessing.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful experience.
Yeah. And do you think there is an energy, Andreas? You and I connected. We had a really good time. We all did as well. But I see your passion with sharks and your passion with the ocean. Do you think the animals interact with us in a certain way? Like, you've dived a lot. Have you seen, I felt that manta ray, give me a look and say, it's all right, Cappy. We got you. It's cool here. It's cool. Pura vida.
Es pura vida. Es pura vida. In my case, we don't have fear in the ocean because we don't know a lot about the species.
Yeah.
I think when I dive with big animals, you can stay close to them.
Yeah.
It's different in the land.
It's different, isn't it?
Yes, of course, because you can stay very close to the jaguar or very close to the elephant.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
but with the, for example, the giant mantas or the hammerhead, some individuals can permit you
to touch.
Stay, yes, eye to eye.
Yeah,
change
exactly.
everything.
And that was slow. Like, the movements are graceful. People think about sharks and the energy, and they're hunting and they're predators, like you say. They are apex predators, but they're they're calm. They're in their natural habitat. They know
Balance.
they're on top. I think they're quite aware they're on top of the standard, and they're really kind of seeing what you like, checking you out, not interested, not part of their food chain, and therefore no forward. One of the questions, Rosie, I've got to ask: the crocodiles in Costa Rica. Have you dove with them here? Someone asked about the crocodiles. Where's the crocodiles? Because they saw you're on board. And they're like, "Where's the crocodiles? Where's the snakes?" I'm like, "This is sharks now."
Well, I actually have a few days off. I have another expedition in Costa Rica after this, but it doesn't start for about a week. So I actually have a week of downtime in Golfito. And I already have like 5 different little things planned to go look for vipers and then also go check out the crocodiles here. So there will be some.
Well, I know the crew when you show up with your bag were like, "Is there any snakes in there? Are we all right? Cap, is there any snakes in the bag?"
Not yet. After this next leg, there might be some snakes in my bag, but I won't take them home, I promise.
Exactly. And how was your experience on board? How was your from Unbridled? Did we look after you?
Amazing.
Was all right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
We have a new family.
Exactly, and that's what the ocean, I think, brings people together. Relevant that we did. It's a high risk activity what we're doing, but we're doing it for a good cause. We're doing it for the environment. We're doing it for sustainability, and for me, what's important is the exposure we get from it in terms of for the natural habitat. Like for me, I was like Kano Island. That's embedded in my head now as a world-class site. Like that one dive in Diablo. My head was sore because there were so many fish and species of fish in that one location. Remember where the currents mixed, the hot and the cold currents,
Yep.
and there was barracuda.
The Diablo was fire.
There's fire, milkfish, snapper,
And today
jack.
we were in lucky. I think we went in too early. I guess.
Barracudas.
There were 3 mantas today. They
They
reported
said.
to me 3
Really?
mantas today in Diablo.
Yeah, we
So
got up
it's
too
like-
early this morning.
So it's just today we were like, it's slow, but it's just maybe we're not at the right time because
I didn't
Of
go.
course.
it
Yeah,
was that
exactly.
and the
You
cat
and I,
lodge
you and I.
Slept
It was
in.
both of you guys were missing, so that's what happened.
You got some questions there, Sam?
Yes. How many sharks do you need to tag for your research?
It's a good question. Depend of the species too. It depends of the technology. If you use conventional tags, maybe need more. With acoustic tag, we have more information. If you use the best technology, the satellite tags, maybe need only 20 individuals or 15 for try to understand behaviors or residents. But depend of the species. For example, in Cocos Island with the white-tip sharks, we tagged 200 for know about the residents,
Wow.
the number of the base, the growth of this species related with the global warming. Because in the case of the white-tip shark, stayed all the time, like you said, in the reef. They are related to the reef. There are no reef. There are no sharks. It's easy. But like Adriana said, when you dive with sharks, you dive in healthy ecosystems.
Yes, yeah. Well, the sharks aren't actually looking as you as bait. Like that's the people don't understand. The sharks are not a species to be afraid of. They're to be respected, but they're also in their habitat and they've got food. They're there because they've got a dietary system. You know what I mean? The
Yes,
habitat.
of course, yes.
Yeah, it's like
And
I said too. They want
regulate.
easy prey.
What's that?
It's like I said too. They want easy prey. They
Yeah.
want something injured, sick. They don't want a healthy human that could possibly
With
fight
bubbles
back.
coming
Yeah.
out of it and a
Yes,
big
of
heavy
course.
tank on the
And
back.
even yesterday, the day before, we were throwing chum and everything to get the sharks interested, and nothing happened.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's a national park.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they're very smart animals, and that's why I know it's a tough question. The sense that the relationship between humans and animals, I've felt it in my mind. Maybe I'm looking for a connection, but have you felt anything, Adriana, with different species like turtles or sharks? Have you felt something between a human and an animal to say we see each other, we understand?
I feel like with turtles, even
Dolphins?
eels, octopus, like
Yeah.
there's like so many dolphins. Yeah, there's so many species. Even the dolphins that are like surfing with us behind the boat, sometimes
Oh,
you
yeah.
see them jumping and like looking at you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's what keeps ocean people coming back. I mean, for me, I'm an ocean person. It's my love, my family, and my ocean are the 2 most important things in my life, And the connections we've made as from strangers to now friends and family, that's what the ocean does. It brings people together like that.
Of course.
And that's why I love yachting. That's why I love working with your companies and yourselves. You got another one, Sam?
Have you ever used underwater robots for research?
Yes.
Seakeepers or yourself?
No. Well, maybe seakeepers. Well, I don't know. We don't use robot, but in some place we use, for example, cameras, GoPro, and put GoPro along for know more about the behavior, because there are species that are a lot shine, and with divers don't come. And maybe it's good to use, for example, a GoPro in the bottom, and we have a good information.
And you leave it there and record it for 12 hours? Or?
Yes, well, depends. It's 2 hours, but alone people, it's so some chars don't change the behavior. Some chars species.
Yeah. So that's a question I had for you. And if you've got any questions for each other, it's a good platform too. But where do you see it in 10 years? Like, you've seen the development over the years. We talked about, 47 years Kano Island. Where do you see it?
Okay.
Like, where do you hope to see it? It's probably better.
Our dream is the Kano Island keep safe, with sharks, but the equilibrium coming with communities. This is the key right now, because there are a lot of activities, but the national park have rules, and we need have a balance in the management and in the conservation. Yeah, because the communities live around the conservation too.
Yeah. Well, what in my travels I've seen, the unfortunate thing is you don't have enough support to the local communities and the companies that show the world these beautiful places, like the dive company you work for at times. These are the companies that are the backbone of the access, the backbone of the industry. But the poor dive operators don't have much income enough to actually grow and help the protection of those infrastructures. So that's kind of my hope, is that these companies get more government support, like yourself. Non-for-profits, local small dive operators, local small fishing companies, because to me, that's the backbone of the connection between the environment and the local community, is those people who access it.
Yes, it's win-win.
It's win-win if they're supported on a government level. Another question?
Who are your major supporters, and how can people support you guys more?
Please, with good
Mr.
English.
Tiburon?
With good English.
No, what companies do you work with? Or there is a non-for-profit, so they have a donation tool available.
Yes, we have PayPal in the website. You can go to the website, and if you want to donate our projects, of course,
One big one I love, if you show this.
Yes.
This is a big one for me.
The bracelet.
The bracelet.
I have one for you.
You make me cry on camera now.
It's $25.
Oh, okay.
20. It's pura vida, but it's around money. No.
Dominican coffee.
No, worry. You have that. You have to.
2 for 1.
One for your wife and Dominica, and one for you.
Perfect. But that's part of engaging with the community. You're helping a local person.
Yes. We have a project with women, for example. They make artisans like this. This is the hammerhead bracelet. We sell the bracelet in the overnight vessel in Cocos Island. It gives funds for our projects, for little fellows, and we have. Look at this, it's silver.
Tiburon, the hammerhead.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Really nice.
Very cool.
And it lasts a long time. It's 4 years.
Okay, remember this. No, this month have 5 years.
5 years. So it's good quality.
5 years.
Anyway, Sam, you got any other questions there?
One last one. I use split-based sonar for obstacles. What kind of sonar do you guys use for your yachts or for your research?
Oh, the best sonar is your eyes. Every time we go to a dive site, sonar la profundo, po chequeando la profundo, ¿qué es esto? But for us, it's the dive sites. Every dive site we went to would go GPS first, and then yourself, Adriana, you look, you see the current, you see the pinnacles, you see the lineup on the shore.
Yeah.
The depth sound is not so much for the research we're doing, because we're not really looking at fishing per se. We're looking at getting into the dive sites, and we know that with the local knowledge, we see the different style of fish that are down there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I use local people.
Local people, exactly. It's the best sonar, best tools of the locals.
Best knowledge,
the
traditional knowledge.
Yeah. Well, we went with a gentleman yesterday to a spot that not many people dive, they heard there was a great hammerhead there in this location. We dove in, no name of the dive site. We went in and within 10, 15 minutes, we saw a giant hammerhead.
That was insane.
Yes,
I can't believe we
amazing
actually
day.
saw it. And I think something really important to me was the fact that you hadn't swam with one here before, because she's actually a almost full-time dive guide here on the island for a long time, and that was the first one she swam with. So me being spoiled, this is my first trip here in my first week, and I just first time looking for one, we find one, and then she's like, oh, it's my first one, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, that's so lucky.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, very much so. Well, we're heading back to Golfito. If you've got any questions, just keep it going. I try and keep it to 15 minutes because I'm structured, aren't I? Sometimes I'm a bit too strong. German. I must be German. In my last life, I think I was German. When we say 6 o'clock dive, we 6 o'clock dive.
No pura vida, no pura vida.
No. But we have coffee and talk together. We have
too much pura vida.
Do
Too
it.
much pura vida.
No,
we enjoyed a lot with you guys. Really, thank you so much.
We had good coffee.
Thank you so much for support.
I know.
We Seakeepers work together the first time, and very nice. We hope.
Well, our goal is to do Alaska with Seakeepers. We're going to be looking at the bubble feeding with the sharks, with the whales. Sorry, the humpback whales. A little bit cold though. Maybe you come up. You need a bigger wetsuit.
Of course. I don't like a lot the cold.
Oh, it's cold up there. But we're going to be working with Seakeepers in different kind of research as we go up the coast. But my vision is every year we come back. We do the same thing again. We get better at what we're doing and get consistency at it. Because I think that's where the data is most beneficial, when it's consistent.
Yeah.
And then I implore all vessels, all sizes, reach out to Seakeeper, reach out to Mission Tiburon, get yourself a bracelet and help out the oceans, because that's our world. Save our seas, save our world.
Thank you so much. We wait for you the next year, man.
No problem. Anything else, Adriana?
No, I think you guys said it all. And like Andres said, thank you so much. Like, really wonderful experience this was.
I was saying to the owner.
Everybody here is amazing. The crew, you have good team, big team.
People. Yeah, good people.
They're
ocean people. Ocean people. They're our people. And Rosie, an absolute honor. Like an absolute honor. I've done a lot of things in my life and a lot of famous people, but I think the team we have here, and also, where's our last crew member? He's going for another coffee, maybe. But the fisherman there, Yesen, it was just really special to have you all on board. I cannot thank you enough for joining the platform, and we hope to see you next year.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Cool?
Cool. Family, pura vida.
All right.
Gracias.
You.
Adios, todo.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Hasta luego.
Diga pura vida si no